Rama Hare Hare.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Sunday. It is 1st of June. It is Jyeshtha Masa, Trivikrama Masa, and Sukla Paksham, Sastiti Tithi. There are no Vaishnava events in the calendar, so we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Uddhava is remembering Krishna's pastimes. So after killing of Kamsa, so he was sent to the Sandipani Muni school and he has learned 64 arts and skills within 64 days, and then as Guru Dakshina, he has brought back the son of Sandipani Muni. After that, so Krishna, he has married Rukmini, and Rukmini has sent a message to Krishna through Brahmana. And then Krishna went there to Kundina Nagara, and where he has kidnapped Rukmini Devi according to the plan, as Rukmini Devi mentioned in the letter. In such a way, even though there were so many kings, they could not do any obstacles to Krishna. So Samahuta Bhishmaka Kanyayaye Shriya Savarnena Bhoshaya Yesham Gandharvurutya Mishram Subhagam Jeste Padamudni Dadat Supannaham. So just like a Garuda, take away the nectar in such a way, Krishna has got Rukmini Devi from the Kundina Nagara for Gandharvurutya to get married. In such a way, Uddhava has remembered one pastime, and further, he is now remembering another pastime how Krishna has subdued the 7 bulls and married Nagnajiti. Married Nagnajiti. Nagnajiti is also another name for Nagnajiti is Satya, not Satyabhama, Satya. So this is Nagnajiti. Sometimes we see Satya means it is Nagnajiti, daughter of Nagnajit. So he's mentioning how Krishna has married Nagnajiti by subduing the 7 bulls, and after that, during that time, so I mean, even though all the other princes, so they were defeated in the Swayamvara, they could not subdue the bulls, but they wanted Nagnajiti in marriage. So Krishna has either wounded them or killed them, but Krishna was not hurt even a single bit, a single. Um, so likewise, Uddhava is remembering another pastime. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 3, verse number 4. Kukudbino avidhanaso damitva स्वयंवरे नाग्निजितिं भुवाः तद्भग्नमानान् अपि गृह्यतो अज्ञान् जज्ञे अकृतः शस्त्रवृतः स्वशस्त्रैः कुकिद्मिनः अविद्धनसो दमित्वा कुकुद्मिनो is the bulls avidhanasaha and whose noses were not pierced. So these are all some of the bulls. If we see some kind of bull fightings or something, sometimes they will take out the nooses and then they will release the bull so that people will give a challenge. Whoever catches this bull, they will get a gift. So, but here these bulls, they do not have even the noses pierced. A bull can be controlled through the nose. by piercing the nose, and then they will have a nose thread. But these bulls, they do not have the nose thread. Kukidmino avidhanaso damitva, by subduing the bulls. Swayamvare. Swayamvare in the open competition to select the bridegroom. And who has come? This is for the Nagnajitim Guvaha. Nagnajitim, the princess Nagnajiti and Guvaha. Lord Krishna has married Nagnajiti after subduing the 7 bulls in the Swayamvara. Krishna has married Nagnajiti. Tad Bhagnamanapi Grujjito Ajnan. And even though other princes, Tad Bhagnamanan, and in the way, other princes were disappointed. Api, even though they were disappointed and they were defeated, Tad Bhagnamanan Api Grujjito Ajnan, and they wanted to Gurjitaha, they wanted Ajnan, the fools. They wanted to have the Nagnichiti as their wife, something like that. So they wanted to fight. They wanted to stop Krishna to take Nagnajiti. And Jajñi Akshataha Satrabhutaha Swasastraihi, and Jajñi. When those fools came to stop Krishna, what has happened? Jajñi. Either those princes were killed or wounded. Either killed and wounded. And then Akshataha is without being wounded. Shastrabrutaha, equipped with all weapons, Swashastraihi, by his own weapons. So Krishna has got all these weapons, bow and arrow, and many of those things like the Gada, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, no one can conquer. So by this time, so Krishna has got the Sudarshana Chakra also. So it was given to Krishna by Agni Deva. So likewise, Uddhava is remembering. So Krishna has defeated all of those princes, and either by killing them or wounding them. But was noted. Krishna was not wounded a little bit. Kukidminaha avidhanaso damitva swayamvare nagnijitim buvaha tadbhagnamanapi grujjito ajnan jajñi akshitaha shastrabhutaha swasastraihi, by his own personal weapons. Okay, so translation for this shloka. By subduing 7 bulls whose noses were not pierced, the Lord achieved the hand of Princess Nagnijiti in the open competition to select her bridegroom. Although the Lord was victorious, his competitors asked the hand of Princess, and thus there was a fight. Well equipped with weapons, the Lord killed or wounded all of them, but he himself was not hurt. So there is no purport for this shloka. So we shall read about Krishna's marriage, how Krishna married those princes. It is very beautiful to read. It comes in the 10th canto when Krishna in the 52 chapter there, he has married Rukmini Devi, and then marriage of Krishna and Rukmini, and then later on Krishna marries 5 princes. So this comes a very beautiful pastimes. Can I request? Okay, we skip some. And also by this time, Krishna has married Satyabhama and Jambavati also. So he has married 3 princes, and then so next 5 princes. So this is where we're going to see. Okay, so from text 17 to 30, can I request Meena Mataji to read 17 to 30, please?
Hare Krishna. After the two Krishnas bathed there, they drank the river's clear water. The great warriors then saw an attractive young girl walking nearby. Sent by his friend Arjuna, approached the exceptional young woman who possesses beautiful hips, fine teeth, and lovely face, and inquiring from her as follows. Arjuna said, "Who are you, O fine west, wasted lady? Whose daughters are you, and where do you come from? What are what are you doing here? I think you must be looking for a husband. Please explain everything, O beautiful one." Sri Kalindi said, "I am the daughter of the sun god. I desire to get as my husband the most excellent and um, manifested manifested Lord Vishnu, and to that end I am performing several penances. I will accept no husband other than him, the abode of the goddess of fortune. May that Mukunda, the Supreme Personality, the shelter of the helpless, be pleased with me. I am I am known as Kalindi, and I live in a mansion my father built for me within the water of the Yamuna. There I will stay until I meet Lord Achyuta." Sukdev Goswami continues, Arjuna repeated all this to Lord Vasudeva, who was already aware of it. The Lord then took Kalindi onto his chariot and went back to see King Yudhishthira. Describing a previous incident, Sukdev Goswami said, "Upon the request of the Pandavas, Lord Krishna had Vishwakarma built them a most wonderful and amazing city. The Supreme Lord stayed in that city for some time to please his devotees. On one occasion, Sri Krishna wanted to give the Khandava forest as a gift to Agni, and so the Lord became Arjuna's charioteer. Being pleased of being pleased, O king, Lord Agni presented Arjuna with a bow, a set of white horses, a chariot, a pair of inexhaustible cuirass, and armor that no fighter could pierce with weapon. When the demon Maya was saved from the fire by his friend Arjuna, Maya presented him with an assembled hole in which Duryodhana would later mistake water for a solid floor. The Lord Krishna gave leave by Arjuna. The Lord Krishna given leave by Arjuna and other well wishes relative and friends returned to Dwarka with Satyaki and the rest of his entourage. entourage. The supreme auspicious Lord then married Kalindi on a day when the seasons, the lunar asterium the confu- and the configuration of the sun and other heavenly bodies were all properties in the way he brought the greatest pleasure to his devotee. Vidya Vidya and Anuvidya, who shared the throne of Avanti, were followed of Duryodhana, where the times came for their sister Mitravinda to select her husband in the Sayamvara ceremony. They forbade her to choose Krishna, although she was attracted to him. My dear king, Lord Krishna forcibly took away Princess Mitravinda, the daughter of his aunt Raj, Rajadhavi, Rajadhavi Devi, before the eyes of the rival kings. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So here, until this point, Krishna has married Kalindi and then Mitravinda. So two shlokas for Mitravinda until from around 17 to 29. It is for the Kalindi is only 4 verses, but before this setting the scene. And now coming to Nagnijati. So here I shall read a few of this. O king, Nagdejit, the very pious king of Koshala, had a lovely daughter named Satya or Nagdejiti. The kings who came as suitors were not allowed to marry her unless they could subdue even seven sharp-horned bulls. These bulls were extremely vicious and uncontrollable, and they could not tolerate even the smell of warriors. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of the Vaishnavas, heard of the princess who was to be won by the conqueror of the bulls, he went to the capital of Kaushalya with large army. The king of Koshala, pleased to see Lord Krishna, worshipped him by raising from his throne and offering him a seat of honor and substantial gifts. Lord Krishna also greeted the king respectfully. When the king's daughter saw that most agreeable, suitable suitor arrived, she immediately desired to have him. The Lord of uh, uh, Goddess Rama. She prayed, "May he become my husband. If I kept my vows, may the sacred fire bring about the fulfillment of my hopes." Goddess Lakshmi, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the rulers of the various planets placed the dust of his lotus feet on their heads, and to protect the codes of religion which he has created, he assumes pastime in incarnations at various times. How may that Supreme Personality of Godhead become pleased with me? So King Nagjet first worshipped the Lord properly and then addressed him, O Narayana, Lord of the universe, you are full in your own spiritual pleasure. Therefore, what can this insignificant person do for you? Sukadeva Goswami said, O beloved descendant of Kuru, the Supreme Lord was pleased, and after accepting comfortable seat, he smiled and addressed the king in a voice as deep as the rumbling of a cloud. The Supreme Lord said, O ruler of men, learned authorities condemn begging for a person in the royal order who is executing his religious duties. Even so, desiring your friendship, I ask you for your daughter, though we offer no gifts in exchange. It's very beautiful. Whenever he is asking, Nagnajit asked, "What can this insignificant person do for you?" Then Krishna is saying, "I ask your daughter, though we offer no gifts in exchange." And then later on, the king said, "My lord, who could be a better husband for my daughter than you? The exclusive abode of all transcendental qualities. On your body, the goddess of fortune herself resides, never leaving you for any reason. But to ascertain the proper husband for my daughter, O chief of the Satpatas, we previously set a condition to test the prowess of her suitors. These seven wild bulls are impossible to tame. O hero, they have defeated many princes, breaking their limbs. If you can subdue them, O descendant of Yadu, you will certainly be the appropriate bridegroom for my daughter, O Lord of Shri. Upon hearing these terms, the Lord tightened his clothing, expanded himself into seven forms, and easily subdued the bulls. Mataji, would you like, Meena Mataji, would you like to read from 46
Yeah,
to 51, please?
okay, Hare Krishna. Lord Survi tied up the bulls whose pride and strength were now broken, and pulled them with ropes just as a child playful pulls wooden toy bulls. The king Nagnajit, pleased and astonished, presented his daughter to Lord Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead accepted this suitable bride in the proper Vedic fashion. The king wives the king's wives felt the greatest ecstasy upon attaining Lord Krishna as the dear husband of the royal princess, and a mood of great festivity arose. Councils, horns, and drums resounded along with vocal and instrumental music, and the sound of Brahma's invoking blessing. The joyful men and women adorned themselves with fine clothing and garlands. As the Dwari, powerful king as the powerful king Nagnajit gave 10,000 cows, 3,000 young maid servants, wearing golden ornament on their necks and bedecked bedecked in fine clothing, 9,000 elephants, 100 times as many chariots as elephants, 100 times as many horses as chariots, and 100 times as many men servants as horses. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. I shall read a few lines. The king of Koshala, his heart melting with affection, had the bride and groom seated on their chariot, and then he sent them on their way surrounded by a great army. When the intolerant kings, who had been rival suitors, heard what had happened, they tried to stop Lord Krishna on the road as he took his bride home. But just as the bulls had broken the king's strength before, the Yadu warriors broke it now. Arjuna, wielder of the Gandiva bow, was always eager to please his friend Krishna, and thus he drove back those opponents who were shooting torrents of arrows at the Lord. He did this just as a lion drives away insignificant animals. Lord Devaki Sutta, the chief of the Yadus, then took his dowry and Satya to Dwaraka and continued to live there happily. Bhadra was a princess of Kaikeya kingdom and the daughter of Lord Krishna's paternal aunt Shrutakirti. The Lord married Bhadra when her brothers, headed by uh, Santadhana, offered her to him. Then the Lord married Lakshmana, the daughter of the king of Madra. Krishna appeared alone at her Swayamvara ceremony and took her away just as Garuda once stole the demigod's nectar. Lord Krishna also acquired thousands of other wives equal to these when he killed Bhaumasura and freed the beautiful maidens the demon was holding captive. Okay, so that is very beautiful pastimes, and here within this again, this Lakshmana, the Lord married Lakshmana, the daughter of the king of Madra. The king Krishna appeared alone at her Swayamvara ceremony and took her away, just as Garuda once told. So this is another beautiful pastime of Lakshmana. It would be narrated whenever Krishna, along with his all eight princes, visiting Kurukshetra during that time, Draupadi come and asks each and every wife, "What are you doing? How you are trying to please Krishna? Please tell me about how Krishna married." When they are describing, then Lakshmana describes that my marriage is also similar to your marriage, O Draupadi. So you are one in the uh, Swayamvara by Arjuna. By Arjuna has, I think he shooted the Matsya Yantra, which was arranged. But it is Lakshmana's, this Lakshmana, who is the Krishna's wife. During Lakshmana Swayamvara also, it is similar kind of Matsya Yantra, but it is bit more, one more step extra complicated than Arjuna's and Draupadi's, that Matsya Yantra. So that is beautiful pastime. Lakshmana narrates that one. Okay, this is how Krishna has married five queens, and before that, he married Rukmini, Jambavati, and then Satyabhama. Krishna married first Rukmini, second is Jambavati, third is Satyabhama, and then Kalindi, and then Nagnajiti 5, and then Mitravinda 6, and Lakshmana 7, and Bhadra 8. So totally 8 wives. So Uddhava here he is remembering how Krishna has subdued the 7 bulls and then married Nagnajiti, and then he has subdued all the princes as well. कुकुद्भिनो अविद्धनसो दमित्वा स्वयंवरे नागनिजितिं भुवाः तद्भग्नान् तद्भग्नमानानपि गृध्यतो अज्ञान् जज्ञक्षतः शस्त्रभृतः स्वशस्त्रैः. Yajna Akshataha Shastrabhutaha Swasastrehi. Very nice to hear Krishna's pastimes. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today, letter to my beloved disciples at New Vrindavana. Okay, so this is August 18th, 1970. Okay, so Prabhupada is writing this letter from Tokyo. So can I request Meena Mataji, would you like to read this letter as well?
Yeah, okay, Hare Krishna. My dear Samadasi Terisha, Sanant Kumar Brahmachari, Jagan, Jagatnanda, and Taruni Dasi. My dear Jad, Jaduna, Jadunandan, Krish, Sten, Patita, Pavan, Barbar, Sandini Dasi, Pamela, and Maria. My dear Eknan, Ekad, Ekandra and DDD. My dear John, Nathan, Richard, Jackson, Rasananda, Kenneth, Kenneth and Trory. My dear Trivikram, Yam, Yamani, Yaminidasi, Teresha, Devakinandan, Randhir, Randhir, Martin, and Bhagavatananda. My dear Peter, Girish, Birbhadra, Paramananda, and Satya Abha, and Satyabhama. Please accept my blessing. I am so happy to receive all your nice letters from New Vrindavan and have read them all with great pleasure. Now, however, I have come to Japan to arrange for some printing work, and I am staying at our Tokyo center. I am very much encouraged to know that you are all advancing in Krishna consciousness at New Vrindavan, and I am very much eager to see you transcendental community grow still more to become an ideal Krishna consciousness asrama. So please follow the regular schedule of Krishna activity and be happy. I hope you are all well in Krishna consciousness. Your wishes your ever well-wisher A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Any comments, Mataji, from this letter?
So he's telling writing the letter to given all the names who are living in I think in ashrama and yeah. And then he said that he's very pleased to receive the nice letter from New Vrindavana and uh, and then he also mentioned that he came to Japan to printing work and then he's staying Tokyo center and he's encouraging all of them who is given individual name given who is living I think in ashrama so and encourage them to have a advance in Krishna consciousness in Vrindavana and uh, and he also wants to this community grow very nicely grow this community transcendental community and yeah in ashram let's all grow nicely and encourage everybody to do the Krishna consciousness and be in Krishna consciousness and encourage them to and yeah he just to know that he was very happy to know that everybody is advancing Krishna consciousness and following all the and following the regular schedule and Krishna activity and also giving them bless that they will be happy in the ashrama. And I think yeah, that's something Prabhupada has mentioned. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. So very nicely summarized. So Prabhupada is very happy to see all these devotees. The community is growing and they're advancing in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so that is the previously in the olden days when I was in India. The villages are getting formed. They will come. They will, first of all, they will establish the temple and the society. They will keep their homes in and around so that they participate in all spiritual activities. And then, out of the people, the community, each people, section of people, they take kind of one particular activity. One person may be farming, one person may be taking another occupation, likewise different ways they would, but finally at the end of the day everyone come to the temple and do the Krishna's bhajans, Rama bhajans, and sing kirtans and then go home and then have dinner in the evening and then they go to the bed by half past 7, something like that. That is the usual, and then wake up by half past 5. So maybe some people 5 o'clock, something like that. That was the general schedule for all the people. They do not need to have lights and everything else, the electricity and all the. They used to have lamps. Of course, even the lamps were also when the people lamps were required because they wanted to sorry, they wanted to awake little bit more, then they needed lamps. Otherwise, they would utilize the sunlight properly. They do not need electricity at all. So that was the custom in the olden days. But gradually, this electricity came and taking the life of all the peoples and then making them to awake throughout the night with all the engagement. That is not the purpose of human life. But so anyway, the community when it is grows and then gradually it would absorb the materialistic things. But that is not the human society. But here, Prabhupada wanted to see the Krishna conscious, Varnashrama Dharma. When the community grow, still more to become an ideal Krishna conscious ashrama. So that is the transcendental community. Prabhupada was much eager to see transcendental community. That is possible and easier. So if every village contains 2 to 3 families, the strict followers of Krishna consciousness, they can make the entire village very proper. It is very easy to start with the villages than going into the towns. Towns are required, but that is where we get the many people. They don't have much opportunities. But actually, one has to start this Krishna consciousness movement from the villages side. Then it will go rapidly because it is easy to make the people Krishna consciousness. They're already there. They need something just to clear the path. That's it to Krishna consciousness. It will become because all the people that take birth in the villages and then they will be sent to the cities. By the time we come and try to preach in the cities, the children are grown up. But in the villages, they were not taught anything about the Krishna consciousness because there is no proper foundation. It would take so much of time to again convince when they are in the cities. If you are giving Krishna conscious in the villages, it would the ground is properly tilted and then fertilized in the proper time. And then it would be easy for them when they go to the cities and then try to learn the Krishna consciousness. They do not have to be stressed to convince too much. We do not have to shed tons of blood. It is easier to go and preach in the villages and then stay two to three families in each and every village and then bring the communities together and then perform bhajans and speak Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Then the country will become very soon, it become Krishna consciousness. That is for sure. That is the proper way. Otherwise, it would take a lot of time if you just go and do this. Of course, people also need in the cities, they need convincing philosophy. They are already absorbed in the materialistic activities. Okay, that is not a big task if we just start with the villages to spread Krishna consciousness and perform the Jagannath Ratha Yatra. Everyone comes. So in such a way, we can build the transcendental community. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. So Prabhupada wanted to see these transcendental communities.
Yes, it is so. Prabhu, yes, Prabhuji is doing good work, isn't it? Doing Jagannath Yatra in the village.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. We need to do in our villages. We might be coming from the village, most of them.
And also village they have at least Ram Mandir, and they are going together, and that's why them convince them is very easily than the city, as you
Yeah.
say, because they
No,
have like small Ram Mandir each village.
yeah.
But then you can make them to Krishna or Ram. That is so easy to, yeah.
Yeah. But what is happening? We are neglecting the basic part, the very important and sensitive part, and we are trying to focus on somewhere in that is the easiest part. Coming to the towns, it is a bit harder. Going to the cities, it is more difficult. Going to the crossing the continents, going to a different country, we cannot
Mm.
even imagine about that, so how hard it would be to
Yeah.
bring people, hardly 20 people. If it
Mm.
is city, we may get maybe hundreds, towns maybe thousands. If we go to
Mm.
village, entire village will come.
Yeah.
That village, these are very, um, I don't know, but say this is the structure one has to follow. First, preach in the even the villages are the main sources for the country's development as well. So it mentions like
Mm.
uh, they are the heart of the country.
Yeah. Because mostly villages they have farm and everything like
Yes,
agriculture as well.
yes,
In this way, like we get this food and like sattvic, like grain and everything. So
yes.
yeah.
That needs to be Krishna conscious. One has to work in the villages, not in the towns and cities. Of course,
Yeah.
it is required, but people, they will take further level. But main preachers must be in the villages. Main preachers must be in the villages. That is the
Mm.
sense.
Because nowadays those who don't want to go to anybody to villages, and they just want. But have you heard like any time about Swadhyay? Have you heard Yogeshwar Swadhyay? There was a Pandurang Sastri who was doing that. They was going village to village each and like in India. But I
Yes,
don't know whether you
yes.
heard about that or not.
Panduranga, yes, he used to.
Yeah.
And
Pandurang Sastri.
yeah, I know.
Yogeshwar. Yeah, they say they are especially Bhagavad Gita, like Yogeshwar. They say then like mm, and go each village to village and giving these Krishnas.
Yes.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be easy, but
Mm.
the villages may not have enough income or this to spend money, but
Mm.
towns and cities may have got lots of money. So
Yeah.
when I see different angle why people go and try to uh, preach there.
Mm. And also like in the Bhagavatam we just read, so Lakshmana is also like daughter-in-law, isn't it, of Krishna? Something there was another Lakshmana which is like
Yes,
Duryodhana's daughter or something like that.
yes, that is another Lakshman, correct.
Lakshmana, I know. Oh.
Duryodhana's daughter, yes.
Yeah. So
Duryodhana's
here you are saying
daughter.
this is the same as what do you call same as Draupadi. So how does where is that written? Like does he has to go same Swayamvar? It was like for the Lakshmana and Krishna's like marriage is like a Swayamvar.
Yes, that one. Um, it was in the Lord Krishna meets in the that Kurukshetra.
Okay.
At the time, where is that? Which
So
chapter?
like so they made in a Kurukshetra like Lakshmana.
Draupadi meets the queens of
Oh,
Krishna.
I could, and at the time they just talk. Okay. Okay.
Lakshmi. So see this one, it says, Queen Lakshmana said to Draupadi, at my Swayamvara, as that yours, a fish target was fastened near the ceiling, but in case the fish was concealed on all sides, and only its reflection could be seen in the pot of water below. Several kings tried to hit the fish with an arrow but failed. Arjuna then made his attempt. He concentrated on the reflection of the fish in the water and took careful aim, but when he released his arrow, it only grazed the target. Then Sri Krishna fixed his arrow and the bow
Shot is straight through the.
and shot it straight through the target, knocking it to the ground. I placed the victory necklace on Sri Krishna's neck. But the kings who had failed raised violent protest. Lord Krishna valiantly fought them, cutting off the heads, arms, and legs of many and sending the rest fleeing for their lives. Then the Lord took me to Dwarka for our lavish wedding. See, this is the Lakshmana's marriage. Of course, this is summary of
Never heard. Yeah, this never heard that. This about Lakshmana.
yeah, even Arjuna was in that Swayamvara.
Yeah, so Arjuna didn't manage to do it.
Yeah, so he was see, it only grazed the target.
Yeah, they
Yes.
should have.
Slightly, it was touching, but it was not pierced.
But then he has done into with the Draupadi, isn't it? Swayamvara.
Yes, he did too. Yeah, that
So
was.
at the time when Draupadi Swayamvara, Krishna was also there. Were also there.
Yes, Krishna Balaram were there, but they did not participate. They know that because Draupadi was born only to get marry Arjuna. That's why they did not participate.
Okay. Mhm. But at the time this Pandava was in the jungle, isn't it? When they came to Draupadi.
Yes, so they were in the not incognito stuff, but because of the Laka house, there was an attempt to kill the Pandavas by Dhritarashtra and company. They have escaped from there, and then they were living. I think I don't remember that village name.
Yeah, it's a Kunti Mata. Yeah.
Yeah, and the five Pandavas. They were living in a Brahmana's home.
Mhm.
In a, like even Pandavas are like a, they were wearing the white clothes as like a Brahmana. And then they went to the Swayamvara. Bhima and Arjuna were there,
It's
and
Swayamvara, only Bhima and Arjun. Okay.
yes, and then the five Yudhishthira, Nakul, and Sahadeva also they joined later on.
Mhm.
But Krishna and Balaram were also sitting there. Krishna speaks to Balaram, this is Arjuna, and this is Bhima, but no one knows, only Krishna and Balaram. So Krishna understand,
Mhm.
but they did not participate in the uh, and
Mhm.
then they were still observing what is happening. And Karna wanted to do it, but Draupadi forbade him that he is not a Kshatriya like that.
Mhm. Yeah, for Karna. Yeah, yeah. This. Otherwise, maybe Karna has did it, isn't it?
We don't
But
know.
as you said, Krishna also already know that it's Arjuna only Draupadi. So
Yes, yes. Draupadi is born for Arjuna's sake.
Arjuna only.
So this summary, and further Sukadeva Goswami speaks in a detail.
So how is this like Draupadi, like Duryodhan's daughter married with Krishna's grandson, isn't it, or something?
Krishna's son Sambha. So there was a Swayamvara to Duryodhana's daughter Lakshmana. So during that time, Samba went there and forcibly take Lakshmana. And then again during that time, all the Kuru warriors got very angry with Samba and they captured Samba. And then later on, Balarama went there and then asked them to release, but they did not. And they were just criticizing, how dare you, Yadus? You're not even kings, rulers of the world. We are the kings, and then you do not have, you are not equal level as Kurus. And Balrama got very angry by taking his plow. He wanted to drag the Hastinapura into the Ganges river. And
Mhm.
then immediately those people came to the senses, and Duryodhana, uh, so he worshipped Balaram, and then he sent Lakshmana by giving some dowry and all other things, gifts to Balaram, and then Balaram takes Samba and Lakshmana to
Oh,
again they become friends, Kurus and Balaram. Initially, the Kurus they worshipped Balaram because he is the guru of
yeah,
Duryodhana. But when
yeah.
Balarama says what the purpose, then immediately he criticized Balaram. And
Mhm.
again, when Balaram got angry, and again those people they come to senses, they came to senses, and then worshipped Balaram again, asking for forgiveness.
Mhm.
That is a different story again.
Mm. So here you were saying that Lakshmana was something again what the story was said. So Lakshmana said, okay, and I repeatedly. Yeah. Number 17 you are reading, isn't it? Of Lakshmana.
Or this one. This is the same thing. I was saying that summary.
Mhm.
Lakshmana, O Queen, I repeatedly heard Narada Muni glorify appearances and activities of Achyuta, and thus my heart also became attached to the Lord Mukunda. Indeed, even the goddess Padmahasta chose him as her husband after careful consideration, rejecting the great demigods who rule various planets.
The
This,
same thing happened with the Rukmani, isn't it? Like heard from Narad Muni when he was in love with Krishna.
yes, yeah,
He's also Rukmani's guru, also like Narad Muni, isn't it? Or something.
yes,
Yeah, so same story like here as well. Lakshmana said, okay, and I repeatedly heard Narad Muni.
yes, Mataji.
Mhm.
So it's again those details Sukadeva Goswami is describing.
Mhm.
So I think here this is Arjuna's attempt to in the well, according to the explanation of Sridhar Swami, Arjuna was more expert in a marksman than the other kings, but his physical strength was not adequate to task of shooting it with a perfect accuracy.
Mhm.
This is our Acharya's comments.
Mhm.
Because Krishna is there. So, in order to differentiate between Krishna and Arjuna,
Mhm.
Krishna is not there, they would appreciate Arjuna like anything. But when Krishna is there, so Arjuna is little bit less anyway, isn't it, Mataji?
Mhm. Yeah, because when Krishna left this material body and like
Yeah,
when Arjuna was coming back, he was defeated with by somebody from villages like that.
yeah, yeah,
So without Krishna, he was nothing like powerful. So
yeah.
yeah.
So beautiful to hear and all these things, the very nice pastimes.
Mm,
And Krishna,
totally.
so he pieced that, easily stung it and then fixed his arrow upon it.
Funny.
He looked at the fish in the water only once and then pierced it with arrow, knocking it to the ground. So
Yeah.
it, there in
Because
the,
we never heard about Krishna that he has taken the arrows and done something like that. Because he always like with his flute or with his what do you call chakra or with his Sudarshan chakra and like that. But never heard that he was done this with with arrow and everything.
yeah. So
Yeah,
he,
but we heard like little bit, yeah, because when there was what do you call Bhishma Pitama was coming at the time, Krishna was taken at the time, isn't it? Shastra. But not Shastra, he didn't took it, isn't it? He only took the will. Mm, and after Bhishma Pitama, and Bhishma Pitama want to kill Arjuna at that time. But he never took any, he never heard about Krishna taken this, this, what do you call, arrows and.
yeah, but he has done, he used these arrows, he used those in the Battle of Banasura and when
Oh,
he was fighting with
okay.
Jarasandha in the beginning. So,
Oh yeah, probably yeah. When there's 12 times they have okay, yeah, of course.
yeah, so those times he has used all his saranga bow and arrows. And a
Mm.
number of times when he was fighting with the Salva, uh,
Oh, okay. Mm.
there are vividly described how he used the bow and arrows. And also when he was using these things to shoot, it is through the lunar constellation. Each day the sun passes once through the lunar constellation Abhijit Lagna, marking
Mm.
the period of most auspicious for victory. As pointed out by Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti, on this particular day, the Muhurt of Abhijit coincided with high noon. further emphasizing Lord Krishna's greatness by making the target all the more difficult to see.
Mm.
See, this Abhijit Lagna is the most auspicious.
Mhm. So, like in lunar constellation, so it's people why they went to the Kurukshetra
Why they went to the Kurukshetra?
because when there was like in a lunar at that time from Dwarka and Hastinapur, everybody went to the Kurukshetra, isn't
Yes,
it?
that is the, I think, solar eclipse day. Yeah.
Yeah, solar eclipse. Yeah, solar eclipse. Why is they have to go there? Is something like auspicious?
Whenever there is, so if we see the here in the beginning, I think it comes in the chapter before, inhabitants of Vrindavan. So here in this Kurukshetra, they have met at Kurukshetra during the solar eclipse and discussed topics concerning Lord Krishna. It also relates how Krishna met Nanda Maharaj and other residents of Vrindavana. So hearing that total eclipse of the sun was soon to occur, people from all over Bharatavarsha, including the Yadavas, it is a total eclipse of the sun, uh,
Mhm.
converged at Kurukshetra to earn special pious credit after the Yadus had bathed and performed other obligatory rituals. So if we see any further details on this one, the total eclipse, uh,
Many people went to holy place known as Ananta.
this is
Holy.
total eclipse. So here in the purport, Vedic astronomers of 5,000 years ago could predict eclipses of the sun and moon just as well as our modern astronomers can. The knowledge of the ancient astronomers went much further. However, since they understood the karmic influences of such events, solar and lunar eclipses are generally very inauspicious, with certain more exceptions. But just as the otherwise inauspicious Ekadasi day becomes beneficial when used for the glorification of Lord Hari, so the time of an eclipse is also advantageous for fasting and worship. The holy pilgrimage site known as Samantaka Panchaka is located at Kurukshetra, the sacred ground of the Kurus, where the Kuru king's predecessors performed many Vedic sacrifices. The Kurus were thus advised by learned Brahmanas that this would be the best place for them to observe vows during the eclipse. Long before that time, Lord Parashurama had done penance at Kurukshetra to atone for his killings. Samantaka Panchaka, Samanta Panchaka, the 5 ponds he dug there were still present at the end of Dwapara Yuga as they are even today. So this is uh,
So it's very good to have a fasting on that day.
fasting.
There is something
Solar
mentioned about
eclipse.
fasting in this solar eclipse.
Yeah, we need to follow the. I do not know whether we need to do fasting or not, but here generally very inauspicious with certain rare exceptions. And here observe was during the eclipse. Learned Brahmanas, Kurus were thus advised by learned Brahmanas that this would be the best place for them to observe vows during the eclipse. Means Kurukshetra, that is a very auspicious place. They have performed so many sacrifices. That is the main thing to meet. Because in an inauspicious moment, they all wanted to be in the auspicious place.
So here is like the 5 ponds the dogs there were still present at the end of Dwapar Yuga and as they are even today. So it's today also if you go to Kurukshetra will be there.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
that's what
The
is
five
here
ponds.
mentioned. Yeah.
So that shows that like whatever's written like is still there, like present. Which is really nice to go Kurukshetra.
Samantha Panchaka. Let us see if it is there. 5 ponds. pictures. There is again picture. If we see the good images, just let us see. Um, Kurukshetra Holy Dham. So there is, I think there is one thing mentioned. Some pictures.
Yeah, phone look like here. This one phone.
Brahma Sarovar is there. Kurukshetra images.
It's the image.
Yeah, it looks, it is there, Mataji. Still, it is there.
Mm,
Just I was
mm,
trying to find the uh,
mm.
information. Okay, but anyway, yes, they do exist.
Yeah, so it's near the New Delhi, like Kurukshetra. So yeah.
Yeah. If we go there, we see those five ponds. When we go to Vrindavana, there are so many ponds.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Um,
See, yes, here is say like, but just as the otherwise in species Ekadasi, they become beneficial when used for the glorification of Lord Hari. So the time of an eclipse is also advantageous for fasting and worship.
yes,
So that is also good to like chanting and fasting and presenting.
yes, Mataji.
Mm.
But yeah, once we see those, for example, on Ekadasi day, we generally fast.
Yeah,
But here, if there are any Vaishnava scriptures that we need to fast on the solar eclipse day, what happens? It is not entire. Uh, in our childhood, when there is a solar eclipse happen in the sky, we do not go outside to see that
yeah,
part. And
and
then,
also yeah, you
and
didn't go out.
then once
Mm.
that is, once the solar eclipse passed out, then what we used to do, we take the bath and then wear new clothes. And then
Mm.
we go out. Until then, we don't go out. It
Yeah.
was
And also whatever is left in the fridge or something like that, they throw like put away, not to eat again and like that.
we
Some
do
of
not
them do.
we do not eat the food. We do not drink water, and
Yeah.
then stay in the home just like that and do something. After the solar eclipse passed out, then we take the bath and then wear clothes and then eat
Mm.
nice food or offer it to the Lord and then eat it. So that is
Yeah.
the
But they said not remaining food whatever in the fridge. They don't eat some of them. They also I got like that.
yeah, but that is only during the period. The solar eclipse period, it may be for 1 hour or 2 hours like that max.
Okay, then you can eat afterwards. Okay.
After that, taking the bath, then we can take the prasadam.
Mm. But is how do we know? Sometimes it's like it's written on the calendar.
I think so here, the Panjikas, so it gives some information and Brahmanas, they will give the instructions
Okay.
and what needs to be. Generally, in the village, most of the people, they are aware of all the events, what needs to be done, what not, what should not be done on this particular
Mm.
day.
Mm.
Naturally, they know all these things, even though they are not very intelligent, because
Mm.
Brahmanas will come and say, and they will remember everything. So again, because they follow 1 week, 1 year, 2 years, something like that, as
Mm.
a custom or by tradition, they inherit the knowledge as it is. But they
Mm.
are not intelligent, but they follow the instructions of the Brahmana.
Mm.
As simple as that.
Mm. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So that is from Bhagavatam and Prabhupada's letter. We shall move to the next part, that is Ramayana. We have been discussing Ramayana for the part 2, chapter 4. We shall bring Rama back. So this is the chapter we have been reading. And so here, in the Ramayana. So we need to set the mode from Bhagavatam to Ramayana. Hare Krishna. So now Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, they are in the forest. Uh, Now here Vasishtha has sent the messengers to that KK kingdom to bring Bharata and Shatrugna. So they have come and they have heard whatever the things they have happened in the Ayodhya. And then Bharata, by looking the events, and then he has uh, chastised his mother, Kaikeyi, through the words, just words. And then he understood the entire situation. And then later on the instructions of the Vasishtha, uh, he is prepared to do the funeral ceremonies to the Dasharath's body. So now later on, this one is yes. So Vasishtha is speaking to Bharata. So the two princes, Bharata and Shatrugna, stood with folded hands, looking at the royal priest, putting aside their grief. They listened to attentively as the Vasishtha sage continued. So we shall read this one. I shall read first page and then we'll go. The body is always dead, being composed of nothing more than the lifeless matter. It is born and remains for only a short while, with destruction being its inevitable end. Only a fool grieves for the unavoidable. The wise understand that this entire world will be destroyed along with all its living creatures. It is the soul alone that will survive. Vasishtha pointed to the king's remains as he spoke. The king had achieved the perfection of life and would not take another birth. Those devoted to God's service leave this temporary world forever. For them there is no more suffering. The princes should shed their grief and perform their duties. Their father now sat in the highest heaven, while the kingdom stood in the need of their protection. After hearing the sage's spiritual instructions, the brothers gained strength. They took their father's ashes and placed them in the sacred Sarayu, along with all their attendants. They made their way back to Ayodhya. As they walked, Shatrugna spoke to Bharata. How strange it is that the mighty Rama stands exiled by the words of women. I cannot understand why Lakshman did not forcibly restrain the king, seeing him to be straying from the path of righteousness. So now, after Vasishtha spoke those, uh, this is called wisdom, the knowledge. When he spoke that knowledge to the transcendental knowledge to the Bharata and Shatrugna, they were pacified and then they have carried out those duties and then made the ashes of Dasharatha, his body, and then placed in the Saryu river along with all their along with all their attendants. They made their way back to Ayodhya. So now that Dasharatha's part is now done. His body is now cremated. Now the story comes to Bharata and Shatrughna, what they are going to do. Okay, so can I request Gauringi Mataji, would you like to read the three paragraphs? If you are available and able to read it. If you can't read it, then Meena Mataji, would you like to,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm here, Prabhuji.
are you able to read Mataji?
Okay, Prabhuji, thanks.
Three paragraphs.
Hare Krishna. Shatrugna was mystified that such an injustice could have taken place. How did Rama allow himself to be sent away, causing uh, his father's death? What sin had that powerful and um, virtuous prince ever committed. Had he been present, Satrugana would surely have intervened. Kaikai and her evil maid would have been checked and severely rebuked for their unforgivable behavior. As Shatrughan thought in this way, they arrived at the king's palace and saw Manthara at the gate. She was wearing closely uh, garments and adorned mm, with jeweled ornaments. Seeing the two princes, uh, she gives and Sarnik back. Immediately, the doorkeeper says her and dragged her to the princess, saying, "Here is the cruel wretch, responsible for the uh, exile of our beloved Lord. Do with her what you will." Shatrughan became inflamed and took hold of Manthara, pulling her into the palace. He spoke in front of the many other mirrors who were standing there. This week's on sale now wrap the fruits of her evil deeds. She had brought acute and uh, unbearable pain to all in this house, as well as to all the citizens of Ayodhya, who was now as I punish her. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Very,
Thank you,
yeah,
Mataji.
very mistakenly read Prabhuji. Sorry, cannot pronounce.
You did very nicely, read Mataji. Thank you so much. Um, here, Shatrughna was thinking that how could Rama allowed himself to be sent away from the Ayodhya because he is the eldest son of Dasharatha. So he knows what is right, what is not right. And then thinking, how can this sin had that powerful and virtuous prince ever committed? So likewise, he is contemplating why Rama was sent to the forest unnecessarily just because of one woman's words. So he was thinking, if I have been present, I wouldn't have interfered in between Kaikeyi and my father and stopped her evil maid would have been checked. So something like that. I would have stopped this entire scenarios. Likewise, Shatrughna was speaking. And then further, Shatrughna and Bharata, so they were having this discussion. And then at that time, they see the mandara as well at the gate. And this mandara was having so many costly garments and adorned with the jewel ornaments as well. And then as soon as if anyone makes mistake and they cannot live properly, and especially mistake means, but offenses, mistakes may happen uh, unintentionally, but offenses they are made some intentionally, then they cannot wander or walk in the palace properly. So now here, this position of Mandara, she gasped and shrank back by looking at the princess because she was the main reason for the entire sequence of calamities that has happened in the family. And then immediately the doorkeeper seized her and dragged her to the princess, saying that here is the cruel wretch responsible for the exile of our beloved lord. Do with her what you will. So the doorkeeper also understood the mood of Shatrugna, and then he captured her. And then, so he presented Mandra in front of Shatrugna. Now, Shatrugna became inflamed and took hold of Mandra, pulling her into the palace. He spoke in front of the many other maidservants who were standing there. This wicked one shall now reap the fruits of her evil deeds. She has brought acute and unbearable pain to all in this house, as well to all the citizens of Ayodhya. Watch now as I punish her. Because when we are living in a family of uh, royal families, we need to live with a very responsible life. And that's why, because it is not only royal, it is entire country is depending on that royal family. So we need to be very responsible what we speak, how we think, and how we act. So Shatrugna is now saying, so now Mandara shrieked loudly, being held tightly by Shatrugna. All female. Uh, okay, so can I request Meena Mataji to read next 4 paragraphs, please?
Hare Krishna. Mantra strict. Here, mantra.
Yes.
From mantra. Okay. Mantra shrieked loudly, being held tightly by Shatrugna. All her female companions ran away in different directions, fearful that the enraged, enraged Shatrugna would also turn on them. The prince dragged Mantra violently across the floor, and her ornament broke and scattered on the blue marble floor like so many stars in the sky. Kaikeyi heard her servant screaming and came quickly to help her. Seeing her, Shatrugna began rebuking her with harsh words. Kaikeyi was pained Kaikeyi was pained by Shatrugna's sharp word and ran to Bharata for protection. Bharata moved away from his mother and spoke to the furious Shatrugna. Even when sinful women should never be slain, you should therefore forgive this maidservant. Indeed, I would have slain my own mother if the eternal moral law did not forbid it, and certainly such an act would never be pleasing to Rama. Our pious brother would never speak with us again if he heard that we killed this woman. Hearing Bharata's admi- ad- admonition, admonitions, Shatrugna released mantra and she fell almost unconscious to the floor. Kaikeyi raised her up and she wailed piteously, her clothes and hair in disarray. Kaikeyi looked fearful at Shatrugna and gently claimed her servant. Although Mantra had brought about a terrible calamity in Kaikeyi's life, the queen felt no anger towards her. Her sons her son's reaction had made Kaikeyi thoughtful. She remembered her husband's words when she asked for the boons. He had been right. He had been right. She had always loved Ram like her own son. What has possessed her so that she had desired his exile? She considered it the work of all powerful Providence. Mantra could not be blamed. She was only an instrument in the hands of destiny. Thinking of Rama and feeling she has done him a great injustice, Kaikeyi watched in silence as Bharata and Shatrugna left. Hare Krishna.
Hare, Hare Krishna Mataji. So this is a very, very beautiful thing to understand. So when Mandara was now shrieked loudly, just crying, and then, can someone help me, like that? Immediately, as Shatrugna has seized her tightly, being held tightly by Shatrugna to just punish her. And the all female companions, the maid servants, they ran in different directions. They thought that Shatrugna is going to punish us as well. So like that, they all ran. There are women. And now Prince dragged Mandara violently across the floor, and her ornaments broke and scattered on the blue marble floor like so many stars in the sky. So dragging a woman, that woman is Mandara, is kind of a bent. She is a bit older as well. Dragged her. Now looking, and she was crying, she was shrieking loudly, and Kaikeyi heard, because she was like a nurse to Kaikeyi. She has been looking after Kaikeyi from childhood. So Kaikeyi is always adoring as well, adoring Mandara. So now Kaikeyi heard her servant screaming and came quickly to help her. But Shatrugni began rebuking her with harsh words. Kaikeyi, don't come here. Otherwise, I will also punish you, something like that. Something like that. So Kaikeyi was pained by Shatrugna's sharp words and ran to Bharata for protection. Now Bharata, he did not help Kaikeyi now. He moved away from his mother and spoke to the Shatrugna. Shatrugna is very furious now to Mandara to punish her. Now Bharata is speaking, so this is very, very nice to see how the things are going on, how every person speaks. Bharata is now speaking in a composed position. So previously he was a bit angry with his mother. Now Shatrugna is angry. When Bharata was angry, and then later on he was remembering Rama and how his characteristics. And then later on, with the words wisdom of that knowledge he has heard from Vasistha, he is now composed. Now Shatrugna is very angry. Now Bharata is trying to console him, what is right, what is not right. And he is saying to Bharata, saying that Bharata is saying to Shatrugna, even when sinful women even when sinful, women should never be slain. You should therefore forgive this maidservant. Indeed, I would have slain my own mother if the eternal moral law did not forbid it. So that means there is a law, one should not kill women. So when Krishna is mentioning Strim, Balam, Jadam, uh, Pramattam, Mattam, Pramattam, Unmattam, Striyam, Balam, Jadam. So, and a person like the pramattam, unmattam, one who is not careful, who is not alert, and who is intoxicated, and women, children, and old people, and who has lost their chariot, not ready to fight. We should not kill such kind of person. So Krishna, so this one it is mentioned. Krishna says this one, but here when the Draupadi's children were sleeping, Ashwatthama killed them. So because he has followed immorality. So Arjuna, you do not spare Ashwatthama, you kill him. Ashwatthama, you have captured him because he was also um, to be punishable. Now, the same situation here, Bharata is also mentioning to Shatrugna, one should not kill women. That is the moral law. The moral law, if moral law doesn't say that I should not be killing, then I would have killed my own mother also, because this is moral law one has to follow. We need to respect mother and father, spiritual master. So moral law forbids it to killing a woman and a mother, like women especially. And certainly such an act would never be pleasing to Rama. Our pious brother would never speak with us again if he heard that we killed this woman. So Rama would not see, this is the very important thing. We should not commit any mistakes at all. violating the moral laws. Then these are obstacles in our spiritual life. Okay, so further, after hearing Bharata's admonition, Shatrugna released Mandara and she fell almost unconscious to the floor. But now Kaikeyi is raising her up and then she wailed piteously. Her clothes and hair in disarray, Kaikeyi looked fearfully at Shatrugna and gently calmed her servant as well. Oh Mandara, don't worry, don't cry. Likewise, consoling Mandara. Although Mandara had brought about terrible calamity in Kaikeyi's life, the queen felt no anger toward her. Her son's severe reaction had made Kaikeyi thoughtful. Now she is coming to the senses. She remembered her husband Dasharatha's words when she asked for the boons. Dasharatha said, all these things, you are bringing calamities upon our family. Because women, that's why women are emotional, they are not intelligently driven. They are driven by the emotions. Emotions does not have logic. They do not have a proper reason for it. So unnecessarily they will cry, unnecessarily they will take actions, unnecessarily they do act. Sometimes that is how they will try to control the man. That is where they will be put up themselves into the troubles. That is not the right thing. So here Kaikeyi was like that. She tried to control Dashrada, who was always truthful, follow the moral instructions, especially when the devotees and the dharmic way when their husband is living like that, saying a single word opposite to the husband. It is so great offense and it will bring calamities upon the woman itself. All opulences women they receive from the husband. He provides the shelter, he provides them the clothes, ornaments, gifts, food, everything, all kinds of protection. If woman does anything which is not favorable to the husband, then she is bringing ruination upon herself. So she had always loved Rama like her own son. What had possessed her so that she had desired his exile? See, now she is contemplating. Kaikeyi loved Rama like her own son. Now she's come. What had desired his exile? So she considered it the work of all powerful providence. Even she did not have any inimical feelings towards Ramachandra, even at this point of time. So how many days has passed since that? So if we just calculate number of days, so the day before coronation, so Mandra has poisoned the Kaikeyi's mind, and that night Dasharatha was betrayed. Um, he he was so upset with the Kaikeyi's words and her bones, and then he has sent away Ramachandra uh, to the forest. And then after a couple of days, he has died. And then after that, when he dies, and then messengers were sent to the KK kingdom to bring Bharata and Shatrugna. It is at 4 days, and then Bharata and Shatrugna return back. It is another 7 days. So hardly within a month. Now she is now Mandra is coming to the senses that it is all for uh, work of all powerful providence. So Mandra could not be blamed. Otherwise, how could this? Even Kaikeyi was always good. And she was also happy when Rama was being coronated. How could she was changed for this around a month of uh, time? And now she is thinking Mandra could not be blamed. She was only an instrument in the hands of destiny. Otherwise, how could this sequence of activities might have done? Have happened. So thinking of Rama and feeling she had done him a great injustice. Now Kaikeyi is repenting. Kaikeyi watched in silence as Bharata and Shatrugna left. So now Kaikeyi is coming to normal. She became good again, realizing the truths and facts and events. Okay, I shall read a few lines. So this is the one section completed. Okay, I just leave this one. So there is a line. It's going to be a different section of story. And I request dear devotees, if you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything on this Ramayana, that part, kindly share.
Like, I heard, like, after that, whatever happened, Bharata never forgive his mother, and never talk to her. So why, I know he made a mistake, and it was also destiny or whatever, Krishna. That's why so, like, Bharata, his behavior, why so much, like, never forgive her.
So
Really difficult, isn't it? For her as a mother.
so at this moment, Bharata, see when when she has approached, when Kaikeyi approached Bharata, he just moved away from his mother. See,
Yeah, but he never speak afterwards, isn't it? After whole life.
After that, until Rama comes, he may be observing his vows. That we will go, and then later on, Bharata and Shatrugna. So along with all the entourage, the soldiers and everything, and keeping Vasishtha in the front, and they all go
Mm.
to the forest to Ramachandra to bring him back. So this is the chapter name itself. During
Yeah,
that, Kaushalya, Sumitra, Kaikeyi, they three also will accompany in a widow's nest. They are now widows. So having the white saris, they will go and see Ramchandra. So once Ramchandra, but still, he accepts all three mothers equally, even at that point of time.
Bharata. Yeah.
Ramchandra.
Yeah, Ramchandra, but Bharata never accept his mom after his mother.
So yes, and then once Ramchandra comes home to back to Ayodhya, then possibly I do not know. I haven't seen that particular.
Mm. I heard from somebody, yeah.
Yeah, we will see that one in the coming chapters.
Yes, that will be maybe in the, yeah, end. Probably.
So it is a very severe punishment for Kaikeyi if he has
Yeah.
not spoken to her at any point of uh, time in his life or in
Mm.
his life after
But
that.
he realized her mistake, and but also it was Ram wish as well. But that's where Ram went to all over the whole, like, otherwise in only Ayodhya he has ruled. But that's why he go given the darshan to the Santo and everywhere, like, going this.
Yes, but as Rama is now present, so Bharata would have definitely speaking to his mother and as usual as before,
Uh,
what gets back to the Ayodhya after coronation of Rama and Sita.
oh, after Rama and Sita came. Mm.
That would have been possible. But until so, as Ramchandra was in the forest, and also Bharata is also following similar vows in the
In Ayodhya, outside the Ayodhya, yeah, it's Nandavan or something.
Nandagram. Nice.
Nandigram or something, yeah.
Nandagram. Yes.
He is following more difficult, like, than even Rama, isn't it?
Yes.
Sitting on the floor and like all this.
He cooked.
Not on the floor, but also he has done some hole like on the floor, and then he was something I heard.
Yes, he cooked the rice in the cow urine and ate it. So, like,
Yeah.
very severe. And
Mm.
he makes his hair as well, his hair, just like Ramchandra, and keeping the Ramchandra's shoes, the
Yeah.
slippers, and the throne, and then he ruled on behalf of Ramchandra.
Yeah. So he just ruled the kingdom as his king ruled, but yeah, only putting, yeah, Ramchandra's.
Yeah, this Bharata's austerities are very severe.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
voluntarily.
Mm.
Very nice.
When he was, even though when he went to bring Rama back at that time also, like, this was his wishes, but then Rama wants to, like, then Janaka asked, right, like, given to like Bharata to make a decision. At the time, Ram, that's why Bharata said what Ram wants it. Like he cannot, like if you love, you cannot tie them. That you cannot, like, okay, if you are loving somebody, you have to give independence, or you have to make their decision. That's what he has done at the end as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that we will see, Mataji. So what is
Yeah, that would become after. Yeah, sorry, I'm going further up.
you know the story. Yeah, let's see what is going to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Any
Like
other?
it is sinful woman should never be slain. So even the woman has done something wrong, they'll never be punished like that, isn't it?
Yes, they should not be punished. But nowadays, that women sometimes they are hanged in some other countries.
Sorry, what did you say? Some other countries?
So some countries, for example, in the Middle East countries, if some
Mm-hmm.
mistake is done, they would do hang the even women also, I think.
Ah,
I don't know,
okay.
but I think there is a punishment, it's a death punishment.
Ah, okay.
If they have committed sinful acts, a severe
Mm-hmm.
one, severe activity. I haven't, I don't know, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know how to. But I know in Kali Yuga everything is happening.
everything is happening. Equal.
Mm.
I think so. It has happened in even in UK in the 1955. So women were hanged. It's the last woman to be hanged for murder in 1955.
Oh, okay.
That is the last woman. Of course,
Mm.
before that there were so many other things as well.
Okay. Mm.
And also in the America, also the first woman was hanged by the government in 1865. It's a long time back, but later I do not know who is the latest.
1865. Oh my God. Long time.
Yeah, and there is a 18 women have been executed in United States. Women represent about 1 to 11% of 1626 executions performed in the United States. Okay, there are so many things,
Mm.
executions. But so here, even when sinful, women should never be slain. You should
Mm.
therefore forgive this maidservant. Indeed, I would have slain my own mother if the eternal moral law did not forbid it, and certainly such an act would never be pleasing to Ram.
Yeah.
But because of these things, the more countries are not following the moral code. But
Mm.
yet, the moral code, equal law, that is a foolish thing. No one can be equal at any point of time.
Mm.
Equality can be achieved only on the transcendental platform, not on the bodily platform. There should be always hierarchy.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Even the demigods, but people think that they do not see everything is of the same. So they do not understand what is the hierarchy of gods. So the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna, under him Vasudeva Sankarsana Pradyumna, under him again Narayana is expansion, again Vasudeva Sankarsana Pradyumna, again later on Karnodak Sai Vishnu, Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, Kshirodak Sai Vishnu, and then Brahma Shiva. So there are for the universal affairs, Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara. Out of those, Kshirodak Sai Vishnu is the Paramatma. And then later on, all other demigods, Adityas, and different administrators of the universe. And they're all servants of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So, or Vishnu. And Krishna comes as a Vishnu for the maintenance of this universal affairs. But they do not know the hierarchy. They worship all demigods like equally, or they think that this god is good, that god is good. They do not know that Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. There should be hierarchy. They have to follow the hierarchy. Okay, so there should not be equality. And in wherever, if you take government also, there is a prime minister and all his government, different positions occupied. People follow the positions, but they think when it comes to the God, they think that everyone is same because it is beyond their limits. So foolish. He himself is working in a company just like a laborer or something like that. But when it comes to the understanding the God, then he says everyone is God because he doesn't. So foolish. Okay, so that is avajananti mam buddha manishim tanumasitam parum bhavam ajananto mama bhutam maheshwaram. Foolish people, they cannot understand. Namam duskritino mudaha prapadyante naradamaha. So they do not come to Krishna that much easily. Okay, so that is how this material world, as long this is the world is full of demonic people, demonic mentalities. Okay, so that is from Ramayana. Any other comments? Gauranga Mataji wanted to add anything, Mataji?
No, Prabhuji. But I asked last time about the Satrugana is not mentioning anywhere. So today I read about Satrugana. Yeah, he pulled out the Manthara or Kaikais. I forgot that. Yeah, Prabhuji. Yes, that one I like, Prabhuji.
Yeah, here Shatrugna is trying to punish
Yeah.
Mandara,
Yes.
and he dragged Mandara on the floor. And then mm, later, after Bharata's admonition, Shatrugna released Mandara.
Mm.
And then apart from that, there is another pastime with Shatrugna that he has killed one of the Lavasura. There's a demon that story also comes.
Before Satrugana, he got punished. After that, Bharat also um, take off from Palace Prabhuji or something else.
Could you please repeat, Mataji?
Yeah. Satrugana said Satrugana gave her punish. After that, when Bharat back, after that he gave him uh, pull off from palace, or this is happen with Satrugana and Bharat together was there, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. It is in the palace only, but
Yeah.
Mandara was still in the palace only. So,
Okay.
and she is the servant of Kaikeyi.
Yes.
Yeah, she is not sent away, but she was just chastised. Major thing that has happened is only she was dragged on the floor by Shatrugna. That's all, nothing more.
Also heard in one katha because he never said like mantra has dead and in the but still there is mantra everywhere like even some of the quality like some of the like mantra what they have done still like Kali Yuga is still happening.
Yeah, there are many. Like we should restrain ourselves speaking these materialistic stories.
Yeah, that's true.
Prasangamajjaram Pasham Atmanaha Kavayo Viduhu. So evo shadsu kultu मोक्षद्वारम् अपावृतम् ग्राम्यधर्मनिवृत्तिश्च मोक्षधर्मरतिस्तथा मितिमेध्य अदनं शश्वत् विविक्तक्षेमसेवनम् Grammy Dharma. One should not speak Grammy Katha. So because of these things, Grammy Katha, all the newspapers,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
stories, they cut how many newspapers they print every day. How many trees are being cut in the forest just to print the Grammy Katha, useless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is unimaginable. They're
Yeah.
cutting the trees, destroying the environment for Grammy Katha, which is read a few lines and throw it in the bin. If you go
Yeah.
city, how many newspapers are thrown?
Mm. And it's not any useful anything in there.
Not
It's for
useful.
make your mind like disturb sometimes reading
Yes,
that as well. Mm.
they're destroying the environment for useless Grammikata.
Yeah. And also disturb everybody's like sometimes our mind as well disturbed by reading some of this not good news.
Yeah, it is not pleasing. They do not have anything to do, any actions to do with that. By reading it, they do not take anything
Yes.
for their welfare. For either
Mm.
what is the welfare? Either mind is good, whether body is good, whether the way of speaking is good. These are the right things for their well-being.
Yeah.
But if they do not increase those things are there in the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Vedic scriptures. They do not change at any point of any point of time.
Mm-hmm.
The books are always precious. If you have got Bhagavad Gita, we keep for millions of years without throwing. But we cannot keep valuable newspapers. It is
Yeah.
useless.
Like this now, Ramayana is more than 5,000 years still. Like everybody reading Rama and like and Krishna
Yeah.
is like 5,000 years nearly. So that Bhagavad Gita is always yeah.
Yeah, this is morals. This is the way of life that we have to inherit those habits and
Mm.
to mold our behaviors according to the characters we desire.
Mm.
We wanted to be like Ramachandra,
Mm. Yeah.
and we wanted to follow the instructions of Krishna.
Mm. Yeah. Live like Ramchandra and follow instruction like Krishna. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We cannot imitate Krishna. We can uh, just act like Ramachandra.
Yeah, because Krishna has like 16,000, like, somebody is saying, like, so you cannot, what Krishna is doing, but yeah, we have to follow, like, what Ramchandra has done, because it's Maria the Purushottam and how he has.
There are few limitations as well,
Mhm.
but we can act most part of Ramachandra's life, being truthful all the time and obeying the fathers and the instructions.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so this is our transcendental wealth
Mhm.
and other things. Anything which is outside of the Vedic injunctions, everything is made on the materialistic platform. Materialist, and even though it is not in the pure transcendental goodness. It is they do not have any reason and arguments. What to speak of even anything else? Even within Vedic injunctions, there are different kinds of categories. Even Lord Buddha. So yesterday we were discussing that one. Lord Buddha, he has incarnation of Krishna, but still he preached atheism, rejecting the Vedas like that.
Why is the incarnation of God, isn't it? So why is like Vedas? Why yes? Because at the time, how was everything was happening? That's why he taken this Bhagwan like one of this avatar of Buddha.
Yeah,
Where is
that happens. Like even the atheists also come. a father wants all good children to follow his instructions. Likewise, if all people are coming to the Vaikuntha even without following Vedic injunctions, and some people think that I am following the Vedic injunctions, and who are not strong enough to follow the Vedic injunctions, they will fall down. So atheistic people, it is giving a challenge to other people and then deviating them from the Vedic injunctions. Who are less faithful, they cannot go to the Vaikuntha.
So like when he has taken Gautam Buddha, whatever Buddha, okay, so he said don't read Vedas and like that.
It's not Gautama Buddha, it is Anjaneswata Buddha. There are two Buddhas. One is Gautama Buddha is the recent one. Anjaneswata Buddha is the previous one. Anjaneswata Buddha, he was appeared in the province of, I think, Buddha Namna Anjaneswata Kekateshu Bhavishyati. Kekateshu is in the province of Bihar, somewhere, something like that. But Gautama Buddha appeared in the Lumbini Vana in the Nepal.
Yeah, but that is incarnation of God, isn't it? Like avatar, 24 avatars, one of it, Gautam Buddha.
Not Gautam. Gautam Buddha is not the avatar of Krishna.
No? Okay. So who is, like you say, other Buddha? Okay.
It's Anjaneswata Buddha. Buddho namna Anjanasutaha Kekateshu Bhavishyati
So Anjani said, so Gautam Buddha's mother's name is also not Anjani?
is a different. He also preached a similar kind of message, but he is not Anjaneswata Buddha.
Okay. So what Anjani said Buddha has done? Because now in the now we were followers like they follow Gautam Buddha and the chain
Yeah,
especially.
that is atheism, the pure atheism. Even that is not the Lord Krishna.
Yeah, it was saying Jain, yeah, they think yeah, Krishna is not Lord, and I heard something from them.
Yeah, that is different. Gautam Buddha is different. So our that incarnation ततः खलु संप्रवृत्ते सम्मोहाय सुद्विषम् बुद्धो नाम्ना अंजनसुतः कीकटेषु भविष्यति अंजनसुतः Buddha's mother is Anjana and
Anjani.
Kekateshu he appeared in the Kekateshu province. That is the incarnation of Krishna.
So what he has done? Why? What he has? What is the reason for him to come?
So this is Tatah Kalo Sampuravrutte Sammohaya Suradvisham to deviate the demonic. Suradvisham is the demonic people. Sammohanaya, so to bewilder them.
Mhm. I didn't understand. Bewildered means what?
Bewilder means like, okay, these are the Vedas, do not follow the Vedas. You just, but actually he was preaching that Ahimso Paramo Dharma
Mm-hmm.
to
I
not kill
second.
animals. So likewise, he was deviating the people from the Vedic injunctions. We reject Vedas completely like that.
Okay.
Vedas propose the killing of animals.
Mm-hmm.
Killing of
Yeah, but
animals.
because it was happening, isn't it? There was this reason he might be a temporary he was said like that because people are in still I think when I went to Nepal there was in goddess temple there was like when what you call goat they was sacrificing goat and like that so he has stopped that like something like that.
Yeah, there were many people misusing the sacrifices and killing so many animals. And
Because it was written in the Vedas before, that's why they were doing like that.
yes,
Okay, and then
it is
there's a
Vedas, but the mood is so animal can be sacrificed in the festival, those, and then people can eat that body of the dead animal. That
Mhm.
is there. But here in the Vedas, it is mentioned like only once in a month that do not the cows, less lesser than the cow, like the goat or sheep, that can be sacrificed once in a month on a Amavasya night to the
Mhm.
Kalika Devi,
Yeah, sorry.
goddess Kali. There
Mhm.
we offer that animal and as a matter of sacrifice, and
Mhm.
but with the Brahmanas chanting the mantras,
Mhm.
that is there. But cow killing, horse killing, these are all forbidden.
Okay. So why it was written like this in Vedas? Like it was Vedas was written by what do you call that Vyas Muni, Ved Vyas. Yeah.
In the Vedas, the sacrifices, Vedas deal with the three material modes of nature.
Mhm.
If you do this one, you will get results of this. Likewise, everything is mentioned, but all these things are only for the pleasure of Yajna Purusha, Vishnu. Those sacrifices and yajnas are mentioned in the Vedas. And Vedas are there before Vasudev has appeared, but it was only one Veda. He has made that one Veda split into four Vedas. So Vyasadeva did not come write new Vedas. It is existing Vedas he brought into literary form. That is what he has done, but he has divided into four parts: Samaveda, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Atharvana Veda, like that. But if these Puranas are also existing stories only, but he has compiled them. He has given the literary form. But because he is the sage and he could see Paravaresho, and he see the present, past, and future. Paravarajnaha. That's why in his meditation he could see present, past, and future. Apasat purusham purnam mayam chita dapashriyam. Bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranihite amale. Apasat purusham purnam mayam chita dapashriyam. He says Krishna, he understood Krishna completely. He realized, and also the Maya, material nature. And then later on, he has compiled Bhagavatam. Before that one, he also meditated again for the sake of the people, well being of all the people of this material world. At the time, that meditation was different. That was not Bhakti Yoga. And the second time meditation is the Bhakti Yoga. After first time meditation, he has done all the one Veda into four, and then Purana, compile all the Puranas like that, except Bhagavatam. And he has done Mahabharat, everything like that. But later on, in the second time, after chastising by Narada Muni, he has gone through meditation again once more with the Bhakti Yogena Manasi, second time meditation with Bhakti. Then he has compiled Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the ripened fruit, Nigama Kalpatarur Ghalitam Phalam. Okay, that is Vyasadeva. And before Vyasadeva father is the Parashara Muni. Parashara Muni father is Shakti Rishi. Shakti is son of Vasista. Vasista is the spiritual master of Dasharatha, Ramachandra, and all those, and the priest of the Raghuvamsha family. So in another way, that Ramayana period, Vasista and Vyasadeva, they are connected in the same lineage, and Rama and the Mahabharata are connected through that lineage of Vasista. But Ramayana was composed by Valmiki Rishi. And for Valmiki, Narada Muni is the spiritual master again. So there
He
are,
was he was in the jungle and the Kiana Muni again spiritual and stuff.
yes,
He
yes.
was killing the animals and all this. Like not killing, but he was taking everybody's like ornament and things like that. And yeah, Narada Muni, Ram Ram Ram, and then which was saying Mara Mara.
Yeah, yes.
Then he became Valmiki. But I think also heard like Tulsidas is also Valmiki incarnation of something.
That there are after that so many assumptions and acharyas, so many things are there. But that is based on the transcendental vision. So one may think that, for example, we are in the Vaishnava Sampradaya, we may think that this personality is okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and then likewise We have got these evidences from the Puranas. If we go to some different sampradaya, they would think that other personalities like compare, okay, this person is this incarnation, that person is that incarnation. Likewise, every sampradaya has got some kind of incarnation. The human,
Relate to the Krishna, they say it is Krishna.
yeah, some they claim some in different ways, but what we need is everyone are referring to Krishna because Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. Okay, so we know as much as we are sure about that point, clear enough, we are in good position. And second thing is we are servant of Krishna. That is the other thing. And also we need spiritual master. That is another thing. We need Vaishnavas association that is required and Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam that will purify all our qualities that is needed. Everything else, we do not have much information. Our life is not sufficient to go each and every incarnation and analyze it. It may not be useful to us as well, but how to develop our devotion. And the Vaishnavas in our lineage, they're the examples. They have led the life, devotional life, and we can learn those lessons from them. As simple as no need to focus on any religion, any personality. Our life is not sufficient. We have got very less time. Chant properly, follow the regulative principles, regulate our activities. In such a way,
Very true. Yes, very true.
just peaceful.
Yes, very true.
Hare Krishna, Jagriti Tanna Mataji. Nice to see you, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so if there are any no questions or any no sharings, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa if you're all happy.
I just want to mention that, as you are saying that we need a spiritual master. So I'm just like, I just want to get initiation. So I'm not getting initiation, but I like to get initiation. So we have to, which I am aspiring one of the Guru Maharaj. So for we have to follow the some process, like, to do the Pramana course. I don't know whether you heard. And for that, we read a few books and also some lectures from Guru Maharaj and other, like, Maharaj says. So, so then we have to give assessment. So
Yes.
that was facilitated one of the Amritanand Prabhuji. So he's doing on Sunday, 7 to 8. So, so I have to leave 7 o'clock from next. So I thought I can join in, like, to do that. And
For your initiation, Mataji.
hmm?
For your initiation.
Yeah, to get initiation. Yeah, so you just have to follow this Brahman course, and then, but that was facilitated by Amritan Prabhuji. One of the, but it's a 7 to 8 is convenience for many of the devotees
Yeah.
to take, in the morning, Sunday morning.
Okay.
So.
Nice.
So yeah, but that is very good, nice course. They have to read few books and then lectures, and you have to give assessment from whatever you read, whatever you heard. So it's like, once you finish the book, there is a question answer, and you have to write that answer and everything. And then there were so many lectures, nice lectures you have to heard, and then there is questions from there as well. So yeah.
Yes, we need to understand the mood of the spiritual master, whether we are connected to the spiritual master or not.
Mm.
My spiritual master, Bhakti Vikasva Maharaj, so he most focused on the books distribution because Prabhupada's message is directly there.
The book distribution, yeah.
Yes, and also condemning anything who claims that they are Krishna. Some people, many people, they go to different demigods. He condemns openly. If
Mhm.
so, that's kind of things. For example, Shirdi Sai Baba is not a god. He's
Mhm.
from the Muslim community, so he's
Mhm.
just a normal fakir. I don't know why people are going after him to fulfill their desires or something like that. It is absolutely nonsense. There is a single 1% is good. There is no 1% good in that one. Of course,
Mhm.
there are something is happening. Is it connecting to Krishna? No. Do they read Bhagavad Gita? No. Do they read Ramayana? No. What is the purpose going there? It is observed
Mhm.
nonsensical thing. But every day turn up hundreds of thousands of people to that temple in the Shirdi.
Yeah, they were saying so much money, like Lakshmi, they're
That is
collecting every.
absolutely nonsense. So because people are going, they're bewildered.
Mm.
They do not
But
want.
I don't know why they going. They have getting something, isn't it? There is something. They will say that when they have vowed something, like vow something, or and then they fulfill their whatever they desire. So that's why I'm sure there's something. That's why this million, like so many of them are going.
So this is people, they are so foolish because they do not want to read Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana. If they read
Mm.
Bhagavad Gita, they want to follow rules and regulations. They don't want to
But
do.
they were saying that Siri Sai Baba was like taking Ram's name, and this was the he was.
That doesn't matter after. So there are so many things they may just propose. That is not, they have not followed the proper Vedic injunctions. As simple as that. And people go there and they worship him like the Hindu god. So it is again, it is not the right thing. Is it coming from a Muslim community? And then Hindu people take those names wherever it is, Sai Krishna, Sai Rama, something like that. Why they are adding Sai in front of Krishna's and
Yeah.
Rama's names? They are as pure.
Yeah.
They are, why they are adding the Muslim names in front of the Krishna's names?
Yes, true.
Oh,
That's
come on.
totally,
We
yeah.
cannot.
Yeah. Even though there is goddess temple in Wales, so there is also there's big Sai Babas, like what do you call murti statues.
But see, if the other community, there was some kind of opposition from some of the devotees of Ramachandra saying that whether Muslims takes the Krishna Muhammad, Krishna Allah, something like that, do they take it? They do not take. But why these foolish people take Sai Krishna, Sai Ram, something like they were criticizing? But it is beyond of our limits. We do not enter into those things. But people needs to realize what is right, what is not. They need to properly deliberate the message where we belong to, what is our tradition and
Is Amog Prabhu, I agree with a certain thing with you, like the Meenakshi Mataji might be remembered. Is one of the day, we went to Tafago Square and somebody booked exhibition for a Hare Krishna one, and inside is a opposite everything for a Sila Prabhupada. You remember, and we throw it in the bin.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
So
same
somebody
way like
said,
they're doing this one, I think.
yeah, Hare Krishna. They were saying, okay, Hare Krishna and was Tapagascal after Jat Yatra, and then they were giving the book of Hare was inside. Yeah, totally. So sometimes people are
And
like
some
diverted like
is
that.
they wrote it down totally against Sila Prabhupada, and
Mm.
but we read the only few pages because we know is not like that. But we made a mistake to not take it book with us and showing one of you guys, then you can take action or something. But it's lots of book distribution is that day is going on, and whoever new devotees might be they don't know and they think is right and they go against, isn't it, Hare Krishna?
yes. So people they do not understand what is the philosophy and what they are. They think it's a blind faith. A religion with blind faith. So it is mentioned a religion without philosophy is a blind faith. It will drag into the only darkest region of the world. And philosophy without the religion, it is a mental speculations. It is another darkest part. It is not, but one must have, if there is a religion, there should be philosophy. Philosophy means purification of the qualities, purifying from the material contamination, understanding that the creator of this universe, who is supreme master of everyone, who claimed that in the past that he is supreme personality of Godhead, and he has exhibited his pastimes like supreme personality of Godhead with all his six kinds of opulences. There is no one parallel to Krishna so far. But still, people are so foolish that I do not want to follow the four regulative principles. I don't want to cleanse myself. I will accept one person as my God and then follow those things and follow meat eating, illicit sex, or gambling, intoxications. They do not want to come out of those things. That's why they got their level of gods. And other people, they say, okay, if you do not like this God, don't interfere, don't disturb their faith. Something they will come again another foolishness. So foolishness come in many angles. So the world is full of fools. That's Prabhupada is mentioning. Everyone is a rascal in this material world. That is true, but we cannot argue with them. There is no use to argue with them. Simply, that's why Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna with na vichalayet, do not disturb them. They have got their own journey. But and also do not preach this to non-devotees. Only speak Bhagavad Gita to my devotees only, not everyone else.
But Prabhuji, my question is one of my question is okay, we ignore other people's, okay, if they are not devotees, but we want to the our family members is like example, anybody, the family members, son, daughters, husband, if they don't believe in, then how they can progress in
But it is
spiritual life?
our family means Vaishnavas are our family. So though
Mm.
they appear in the blood relations, they are not really our family. We may think that, of course, material attachment is there. We wanted to uh, wish that they wanted to become a devotees and make their life perfect. But it is not so. They because they have got their own journey, though they have taken birth as a child, as a son or a daughter or something like that, and appearing in our life. They do have got their own journey, of course, and sometime they will come to Krishna consciousness. But until then, we do not disturb them, and then only tell them, do not force them to do all these things. So Krishna is Supreme Personality. Keep telling Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no parallel or equal to Krishna, greater than Krishna. There is no parallel philosophy to Bhagavad Gita. When keep saying that, they will be hearing that one, though they do not take the immediate actions. We do not
Mm.
force them and give prasadam, which is offered to Krishna. They will slowly understand that. First of all, they should not be inimical to Krishna consciousness. That is important.
Mm-hmm. No, they do pray, they do that, but it's pray means that they just only come to temple or doing at the home. That's it. But it's not like not continuously. Then is how we can like giving it just prasadam and pray for them, right?
As much as we can do, but in a Krishna
Mm.
consciousness. But other people, they think that we are also Hindus, we also know gods, we also worship like Hindu
Oh
ways.
no, it's not like that. Yeah, they.
Some people, they do have
Mm.
conception. They have got their own home and they do follow Bhagavad Gita, but the purification level is certain extent, only certain level. But in Krishna consciousness, there is limitation, the highest standard, which is high. It is difficult for people coming to Krishna consciousness. Other people, they do not want to follow the instructions for regulative principles, though they claim that they are the Hindus. But when Sunday comes, they eat all the meat and the nonsensible things. That is not following the Vedic thing. They are not really Hindus. Hindus means follow the Vedic in read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. That is where most of the people in the lower, in the foolishness, ajnanam, and it is mentioned. Jagre Anita Mishra Atita Mishra Mahamoham Cha Moham Cha Adhnanam Tamasam evacha. Likewise, Brahma, he has created these illusions in the beginning, before the creation of Kumaras and Lord Shankara. Once he creates these things, so that people, they think that I am this body. They identify themselves with the body. Mahamoham cha, moham cha, ajnanaha, tamaha. So these are the initial creative elements. It will bewilder the people.
Yeah, but when they are not doing, we feel inside that we are not doing anything for them and feel guilty. And isn't it what the children or
Yes, so that's
when
one
you
by
feel inside?
by
Hmm?
Sorry, Mataji, go on.
Yeah, say Mina.
No, no, I'm
Lamataji.
saying no, I'm saying that once they are not following, I know you said you have to leave there, but you feel so inside that that what should we do to make them, because that is the right path for them as well.
Yeah, for them it is right. So someone, if I'm going home, I wanted to go home directly. So if I got some interest, I want to go to Sainsbury's, I wanted to go to Tesco, I wanted to go to the park, I wanted to go to this fun fair, I wanted to shop. Going through all the shops and then finally I go home. It takes so much of time. Going home directly takes 10 minutes, and going all these things, it may take 4 or 5 hours, something like that. Likewise, a living entity, how how soon he wanted to go back to Vaikunta, or how late he wanted to go to the Vaikunta, that differs. One person want to take birth in different things and experiencing pains and pleasures. So they do not come immediately to the home. That is the Mukta Sarva Pariklesha Pantaha Swasaranam Yata. After a traveler going wandering here and there, and then finally coming to the home, that is Krishna conscious at the end. And still wandering in the different shops and this town, this country, that country, continents, wandering this forest, that far, the forest, picnic, so many things are there. Once they are exhausted with all those things, then they will come to Krishna consciousness.
Then Prabhuji, what's happened? Like, when they children, they done so much like a good thing, and all suddenly they stop doing it. Is what was the Krishna mercy on that one?
So if they have done something in Krishna consciousness,
Mhm.
giving charity or trying to help in the temples or devotees, that will come with them. But in due course of time, it will
Mhm.
not go vain. But they need to have a first is the Shraddha, Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Atah Bhajana Kriya. Those activities must be there for his elevation. Because he has done some good for the Vaishnavas temple and all the services to all the living entities without any expectation. Without any expectation.
That's right, because they are younger that time. That's
Yeah.
why they don't have any expectation. And each and every night I'm just used to saying is anybody's my own children is until they gone to high school and stuff like that. They in the evening they chant every day.
Yeah.
Not a Hare Krishna, but Sri Krishna Sanamama is a Krishna thing, but he's just chant every day and don't go without sleep.
Yeah. So that
Uh,
will help them.
but they will all suddenly all stop. They
Once they become teenagers, they will gain looking at the schools and
and
education.
is not they are like bad children or anything, but they are very very good. But somehow is come out of the bhakti.
Yes.
They are very very good listening to other things and stuff like that. But is they come to temple for me, but is not like from bottom of heart. My daughter like prasadam. She comes temple as well,
Yes.
but I don't know how to bring them in. Like you said, leave it. But like Mina Mataji said, it's a harder. We think it's our own children, isn't it? We don't want to leave them.
That's true, Mataji. We do not have to worry about it because they have not seen the real world yet. They have not got taken any responsibilities. Responsibilities coming, earning livelihood, going outside and spending money for the bills. Then responsibilities will come. And then gradually, once they get married, that is where actual problem starts. And then dealing with the relations and the children, leading the family. And then slowly, they would see so many problems are coming into the life. Though they wanted to try to solve the one problem goes and another problem comes. And then they will bombarded with so many problems. And then they will inquire, what is the reason for even that I have tried to solve, even though I'm doing right, but I'm trying to face the problem. What is the reason? I'm trying to say the right thing. People are not listening. Then they will come to the senses. Until then, this knowledge and the bhakti, it is dormant until that point. We do not have to worry about it. This bhakti is already there, but it is dormant. Whenever they take the responsibilities and try to preach Krishna consciousness to someone else, they wanted to, when they come into the relations and leading their family or something, then they would understand it. Until then, we need to leave it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Yeah, because I heard like when Prabhupada went to the America at the time, this people over there, they don't like to sit and chant or read or things like that. So what Prabhupada has made them to do the Sukruti. So when there's Rath Yatra times, they say, okay, do this Rath Yatra, helping on that. So that way they get Sukruti, and that's where they came doing ask him to do the work like which they do the Rath Yatra times or temple cleaning or something like that, and that's where they come more at age afterwards to go to the chanting the names and everything.
yeah, yeah. That way we need to engage those materialistic people. So ask
Yeah,
for help in the
not straight away if you say it like do the chant, they will not enjoy or do, but yeah, gradually they have follow afterwards by doing this Rath Yatra, helping on that and this.
yes, Mataji, that's right. Slowly, somewhere or other, if they are engaged in the service, in due course of time, they will come to devotion.
Hare
Also
Krishna,
very
everyone.
challenging.
Thank you.
It is also very challenging to do that work.
Yeah.
I tend to do that.
Yes. Okay, so we are first 48 minutes, 8 o'clock. So if there is nothing else, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank
Once
you.
a perfect.
Sarvabhyasya कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः
पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णवेभ्यो
की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Just everyone.